We're back. You're listening to Executive Leaders Radio. This is your host, Herb Cohen. We'd like to introduce Josh Bush, CEO of Avenue 2 Travel. Josh, what is Avenue 2 Travel?
Herb, Avenue 2 Travel is a full-service travel management company providing vacations, corporate travel, meetings, events, incentives, the full works.
And how large or how small is this organization?
We'll do over $100 million in sales this year, and we have over 100 team members at Avenue 2.
Wow. And who started this business?
My mom started the business. She's our founder. Back in the early 80s, after I had gone off to school, just school age in elementary school, she needed a hobby, and she had a passion for travel. She traveled quite a bit as herself, and she was sought after by her friends and family to plan trips and vacations for them.
Mm-hmm. Peter?
Growing up in such an entrepreneurial family, I'm sure it had a great impact on you. What do you remember most at that age when your parents first started this venture?
What I remembered most was, that being an entrepreneur, creating value, you eat what you kill, so to speak, was something that was taught to me at a very young age. My dad also was an entrepreneur. He started his own mergers and acquisitions company, and my mom had the travel agency. So, I was the child of an entrepreneur, and my grandparents were entrepreneurs, so it was something very innate.
From what I understand in the green room, that also passed to you. So talk to us about your earliest memory of being an entrepreneur yourself.
I remember being out at the end of the road with a lemonade stand wearing a big flowered shirt.
How old were you?
I was probably 5 or 6.
5 years old, you were starting already.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how do you think that impressed upon you then and shows up today at Avenue 2 for your company?
I think that for me, it's about what's coming next. How do I, envision where the company's going, what it's doing? How do we leverage the relationships and coming up with strategic partnerships that we have? It's about providing that vision and direction.
Mm-hmm. Denise?
Do you have brothers and sisters, Josh?
No, I'm an only child.
And what was that like for you?
Well, again, I like to say that, I was spoiled rotten, but at the same time, if anything went wrong or broke in the house, you know who did it. But it required me, I think, to have an air of creativity and imagination to be able to keep myself entertained while my folks were at work.
And independence.
Very much so.
Mm-hmm. Jim?
I understand at the age of 10 you had an incident in your life. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, my dad and I, we were part of Indian Guides, the thing before Cub Scouts, and we were on a skiing sledding trip, and I ended up breaking my femur, and that ended up putting me in the hospital for over 2 months, and then another 4 months learning to walk again.
How did that influence you in your life today?
I think it gave me a sense of realism. It painted, I was a very kind of rosy picture type of kid to begin with, but then I also was able to get that sense of realism and that the world can be a dark place, but then how do I make that better? How do I change that and get back to that childhood memory that kind of evaporated at a young age?
Does that help you in your business today?
I mean, yeah, very much so. So particularly when we're talking about the vacation side of business, we're dealing with people's happy times. We're providing them an opportunity to see the world, connect with other cultures, and build family bonds and moments.
Kayla?
Josh, I understand you did a lot of traveling as a child, and you mentioned in the green room about a specific trip to Germany when you were 5. Could you tell us a little bit more about that, and how did that affect you?
Yeah, my first trip to Germany, again, it was very young age, but we had this opportunity at a concert evening to go up on stage with a couple of other people in attempts to blow an Alpenhorn. The two other people, way more older than I am, tried and failed, and yet when I played, it was a beautiful melody and note that came out. And what that gave me at that point in time, I think, was a sense of confidence and an ability at a very young age to know that I could perform in front of a large group of people.
Josh, can you tell us a little bit about your dad?
Yeah, my dad was a great influence in my life. Again, being an entrepreneur, showing kind of the ups and downs of again, eating what you kill and being, it's not about how hard you work, but it's about the value that you create. And so, there were lean times and then there were rich times. And, those are lessons that have stuck with me throughout my entire life and really govern the business today.
What are you talking about? What do you mean? Tell us more.
I mean, he was in charge of doing mergers and acquisitions and for his set clients. And so there could be 9, 12, sometimes 18 months between deals. And so, we wouldn't get paid. He wouldn't get paid for that amount of time. And so we'd have to be very mindful of our costs and expenses. But then there were times when that deal would come in and we would have some great riches and rewards as a result of that. That fiscal responsibility, I think, runs true in our business today.
Brian?
Yeah, so your dad's business was a bit cyclical, and it sounds like that spills over into your current business. In what ways?
My dad today is still very much involved in the business. He is our CFO and has made it possible for us to grow because of his financial discipline that has really guided our company and influenced me.
Mm-hmm.
Josh, what does your mom think about you being the CEO today?
My mom, when she started this business, is the consummate salesperson and an amazing mentor. She is energized day in and day out by teaching that next generation of travel advisor. And I don't think that she had any inkling or clue when she started this business back in the late 80s that it would be where it is today. And I think that she's excited that the entire family is able to work together.
Meredith?
And Josh, I understand you had a cat growing up named Mittens.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about what you learned from him.
Yeah, so, she had white paws and hence the name. But in order to get that first pet, I had to sign a contract saying that I would take care for it and feed it and a number of other different types of things. But, I think, very on, it sounds simple, but at a young age, being able to take care and care for a living organism whose needs change and develop over time is very similar to the way that we're nurturing our business and our 100-plus team members that we have today.
How'd you feel about having to sign a contract with your parent, assuming that you were going to get a pet?
I mean, it's made me create a commitment and honor that commitment, and that's what we do for our employees today. Again, it's something that was instilled at me at a very, very young age, and it's about being a person of your word.
What do you mean by that? Tell us more.
I mean, it's about honesty, it's about integrity and respect and being true to oneself. And by me putting my name on that contract and signing my name, it was something that, made sense, and
so
I've never known any other different, and so now whether I'm signing your paycheck or a contract, my word is my bond.
So you are critically concerned about delivering what you sell.
Absolutely. I mean, we're not always about just where you want to go or what you want to do, but it's also important about what's that feeling that you want to have when you get there. And so we need to make sure that your experience that you're getting is exactly what you envisioned and what you had hoped for. Money is not necessarily the most important asset, but it's your free time, your non-renewable asset that you can't get back. And we want to make sure that when you're traveling, it's exactly what you expected.
So you're not the kind of firm that's going to go help clients get unrealistic expectations. You're going to make sure that you're going to clearly help them appreciate exactly what they're going to get, so that they're going to keep coming back again and again as customers.
90% of our clients, the new clients, are referral. 70% of our clients are repeat. We deliver on what it is that we promise, and as you said, it's about setting that expectation and delivering the right experience for what our clients are expecting.
That's pretty interesting, because the travel business is a pretty competitive business, and if you're telling me that the majority of your business comes from referrals and from people coming back again, you must be doing a pretty good job delivering what you sell, which I guess is the same feeling you had about the
when
cat.
I started in 2006, we had 4 advisors in our company, 4 people. So we're over 100 now. Absolutely. I mean, anybody can go on the internet and buy a different trip, but it's more about coming to our team, helping you navigate that quagmire of opportunities that are out there, and then through our relationships, helping you have a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
So you're not necessarily about providing different, you're about providing better, aren't you?
It's about better, it's about value, it's about maximizing your time, it's about giving you access to things that you wouldn't be able to get on your own. It's about helping you live like a local in the destination that you're traveling to.
What's the website address for this organization?
Avenue 2, TWOtravel.com. Avenue 2 Travel.
Avenue 2, AVENUETWO travel.com.
That's right.
We've been speaking with Josh Bush, CEO of Avenue 2 Travel, here on Executive Leaders Radio. And let's see, Shannon, can you give me a rundown on who else we've had on the air today,
Sure,
please?
Herb. Great show today. We had Rocco Fiorentino, President and CEO of Primo Hoagie's Franchising, Carol Austin, Executive Director of First Up, Travis Rhodes, Regional President of BB&T Bank, and just now, Josh Bush, CEO of Avenue 2 Travel.
Excellent. I'd like to thank my co-hosts, including Caleb Murphy, Merrill Lynch, Meredith Castellucci from Hanlon, Denise Lantz, Attentive Health, Shannon Lane, Newmark Knight Frank, Brian Slough, Morgan Lewis, Peter Carriacotis, Emmanuel Insurance, Jim Rogers, Hafley Flanagan, for giving me a hand structuring the questions. Hope you're providing our listening audience an educational and entertaining show. I'd like to thank our listening audience for listening. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a radio show. Don't forget to visit our website, executiveleadersradio.com. Thank you for joining us today, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.